Welcome back everybody to another episode, and as you guys can see from the title already, today we're going to be talking about the top 3 fishing knots that every fisherman should know, so stay tuned. Guys, welcome back to the channel, and like I said, we're going to be going over the top 3 fishing knots that every fisherman I think should know. Before we start this video really quick, at 5,000 subscribers we are doing a rod and reel giveaway, so if you want to be entered in the channel or into the giveaway for a rod and reel combo, you need to subscribe to the channel. So it's easy, just take your thumb, smack the subscribe button. While you're there, hit the little bell notification button so that you get notified every time I upload a video. So like I said guys, top 3 knots that I think every fisherman should know. So today I've got a roll of duct tape, and this is going to represent the eye of the hook. And then I've got a little bit of smaller rope, and I just got this for visual purposes so you guys can see exactly how these knots are tied. It's tough to see with just fishing line, so we're going to do it this way so you can see exactly how these knots are tied. Basically we have the 3 knots. Now the first knot that I want to talk about is the Palomar knot. The reason why I like this knot, guys, is it's great for flipping. It's great for anything that you're gonna have braid on, a frog, flipping a jig, flipping really thick matted grass, things like that. Anytime you're using braid, you're gonna wanna use a Palomar knot. Another reason why I like this knot is it's super easy to tie, guys. It's really one of the easier knots to tie, and it's got, I think it's like 95 or 96% knot strength, so it's really good knot and it's easy to tie. So to start off tying this knot, guys, you got the eye of the hook, right? So what I like to do is take my line, and there's 2 ways you can kind of do this. You can either double up your line like this and then go through the eye, or you can go through and then come back through. So if you go through, make sure you give yourself like a good foot of line. I might exaggerate a little bit on the line just to make sure we get enough. And then you're going to come back through the eye of the hook so that your line is doubled up here. So you got a loop end here and you've got your line, but it's all doubled up. And then all you're gonna do is do a simple overhand knot. So you're gonna bring this loop end around and through. And then you can kind of just bring it down. You're not gonna wanna cinch it down super tight. Then this loop end here needs to go around the hook and bait, okay? So if you got a jig on, this will have to go around the whole entire jig. And then once that's around the whole entire jig, it'll come back around. And I always like to use a little bit of saliva, especially. And then all you do is pull the main line and tag end. So you pull that main line down, and you pull the tag end down, and just keep pulling them, and that knot will cinch right in onto the eye of the hook. That's it, and then all you gotta do is clip your tag end, just trim it down, and there you have a Palomar knot. Super easy knot to tie, guys, and like I said, it is very strong. If you guys didn't get it, just go ahead and rewind the video and check out the Palomar knot again. So the next knot that we're gonna talk about tying is the improved clinch knot. Now this is an easy knot to tie, guys. It's super quick, it's super fast, and it's a really strong knot. The reason why I like this particular knot is if I'm gonna fish like a jerk bait or a crank bait or anything really with treble hooks, like multiple treble hooks, this is the knot I'm gonna tie on there. Reason being is, if you tie a Palomar knot on that, you got to take that loop and come around the whole entire bait. Well, if you got a jerk bait with a bunch of treble hooks, it's not that easy to take that loop and come around it. So the improved clinch knot, something that if you're trying to retie quickly, especially with crankbaits, anything with treble hooks, it's super easy to tie quickly and get on the bait. So you have your hook here, and you're gonna take your line and you're gonna come through, and then you're just going to grab it and bring it up so you have it like this, roughly. Usually like 5 to 6 inches of line. Like I said, I might be exaggerating to just for visual purposes. And then you're going to take your bait, and usually you want to twist it 6 to 8 times. Just twist it around. Like I said, 6 to 8 times works pretty well. And then you're going to have it twisted up, and then you've got this part at the bottom. Now your tag end that you have up here is going to go through that bottom. Okay? And then once you're through that bottom part, you're going to have a little loop here, kind of where you're holding the main line. and then you're gonna have to bring that tag end through that bottom loop and then back through this main loop, okay? And then that is pretty much the knot. Now it's just gonna cinch right on down to the hook, okay? And then all you gotta do is once it gets down there, kind of push on the knot a little bit, and then it cinches on there like so. So there is your knot. That's the improved clinch knot. Like I said, super easy knot to tie. Usually doesn't leave too much of a tag end when you actually do it with normal line. Like I said, I used a little more to kind of for visual purposes, but you can clip that if you need a little bit more line. One thing I always say is when you're tying a knot, always give yourself a little more line than what you think you need, because sometimes you'll get through, you know, you're trying to tie it and it just makes it easier generally with a little more line to tie the knot. But the improved clinch knot, super easy knot to tie. As you guys seen, it tied pretty quickly. Like I said, once you twist it and you have that bottom loop, you go through the bottom, and once you go through the bottom, you'll have the, a loop again. Just go back through it and pull it down. All right guys, so the last knot that we're gonna be talking about is the double uni knot. Now, the reason why the double uni knot is good, and I think that every fisherman should know it, is if you're trying to make a leader, like tie braid to fluorocarbon, or your spool's getting low, you know how your spool gets low from over the season, just kind of cutting off line, retying things and whatnot, and you need to add more line to the spool, or you're going to try to do a, what do you want to call it? You're gonna back the reel with braid so it doesn't slip, and you're gonna put on the rest monofilament or fluorocarbon. A double uni knot is great for that. So what I've got here is two different, I cut the rope into two pieces. So right now we've got two different pieces of the rope. So this is gonna represent our line here. So we've got our two pieces of line. So let's say this is braid, this is fluorocarbon, and we're gonna tie a leader, okay? What you're gonna wanna do first is overlap the lines about a foot, right? Give yourself a little more room, I always say, because it is a different knot to tie. So now that you've got the line overlapped, right? You're gonna wanna take like 5-6 inches of your other line. So you usually wanna start with the braided end. So what you're gonna do is once you have that line, you're gonna make a little loop here, okay? So once you have your little loop, you're gonna kind of bring this line kind of down to make this little loop. Now you have this little loop here, right? Now, you want to go through that loop like 5-6 times usually. Because this is rope, I'm probably going to do it like 3 times. So you'll go through that loop usually 5 to 6 times. I'm only going to do it 3 with the rope. Otherwise the knot's going to be really big. 2 and 3. So once you have it through as many times as you want, you just kind of pull that knot tight. It's like cinch it down just a little bit. And how you do that is just pull the tag end and it'll cinch up that knot. So now you have that side done. Now what you're gonna wanna do is the knot's over here, just take it and flip it around so it's easier to work with exactly how you had it. So then you're just gonna move your lines over real quick. So now I flipped the line over. The knot that I just tied is over here, and now I've got this line. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this side with the fluorocarbon. Like I said, give yourself 5-6 inches. You're going to come around, make that small loop there. Whoops, doing it wrong. Give yourself that small loop, like I said, 5 to 6 times. For this, we're only gonna do 3. And then cinch the knot down just by pulling the tag in. So now, we've got the line laying across each other. You got 2 knots. All you gotta do is take the main end of the lines, pull it, and it's gonna bring those 2 knots together. Then what you're gonna wanna do is pull on the tag end on one side, then you're gonna clip it, and you're gonna grab the other one, pull it, and then clip it. And then once these 2 tag ends are clipped, you'd have a perfect double uni knot that's gonna hold those 2 lines together. Alright, so there you guys have it, the top 3 knots and how to tie those knots, guys. Like I said, these are the top 3 that I think every fisherman should know. For one, the Palomar and the improved clinch knot are both easy knots to tie. That's why I like them so much. They're not too complicated. You can tie them fairly easily and quick, okay? So if I'm gonna be using a jig, a frog, a flipping rig, a Texas rig, I'm probably going to use a Palomar knot because going around the bait with that loop isn't gonna be a problem. Now the improved clinch knot, that's gonna be a perfect knot for anything that's gonna have multiple treble hooks on it, just treble hooks in general, things that are just hard to get that loop around. I'm gonna use that double clinch knot. Plus it's improved clinch knot, it's very easy to tie. It's super quick. You can do it fairly quickly, twist it up, go, done. And then you have the double uni knot, which is a great knot if you're gonna be tying leaders or you just need to get more line on the spool, anything like that. It's just a super helpful knot, guys. When you're out there, there's gonna be a time where the double uni knot is going to come in handy, and if you don't know how to tie it, you're gonna wanna know how to tie it, because it just comes in clutch in most situations where you just wouldn't think you're gonna need it. Boom, you're like, oh, damn it, if I just remember, I know there's a knot out there that you can do that. I've had it happen to myself. Reason being is I had braid on my spool, and I was just getting low on braid on the spool from cutting and retying, so I had to throw more braid on, knew how to tie the knot, boom, no problem. So like I said, guys, top 3 knots, super easy to tie. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like these types of videos, drop it in the comments below, and do me a favor, in the comments below, let me know your favorite knot to tie. So without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, keep fishing hard.